Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me today. I am currently sitting in the future nursery of our child, and we have started on it. So as you can see in some clips of the videos that I've put in, we were able to clean this room out a lot. We had a TV, a console, some dressers. I do furniture refurbishing, so I had some dressers just kind of hanging out in here that we had to move. Once we were able to get all that cleaned up and out, we started putting up some curtains, which have just made this room so much cozier than it was. I just can't believe how much of a difference curtains makes to a room. And then we rolled out our rug, which we're gonna have to paint probably next weekend anyway, so we're gonna have to move everything out again. And then we assembled the crib. I'm only 20 weeks, and so there's not much we can do according to gender because that is actually happening tomorrow. So I wanted to get on and video just some thoughts that I'm having and that me and my husband are talking about before we know the gender of this sweet baby that I have right now. So we already have a crib because it was gifted to us, and we were so excited. So we went ahead and assembled it. I found a rug off Facebook Marketplace that I thought would look great with either a boy or a girl, so I went ahead and bought that. And then we just had a lot of stuff in this room that we needed to clear out, so we went ahead and started working on that. And I had a couple thoughts on starting the nursery early because you often see lots of Pinterest boards and people having completely finished nurseries at 26 weeks. And then you hear the other side of the story of moms who are just like, you are not going to need a nursery for, the first 6 months of your baby's life, so you can wait. And I don't think there's anything wrong with going ahead and starting to do a nursery if it's something that bonds you and your husband, if it's something that gets you excited. There are definitely affordable ways to do it that doesn't break the bank, and so we're trying to chip away slowly and surely. My husband and I are both still in school, and so me being 20 weeks now means that the baby is due in December, meaning that our school is about to start, and we're not going to have much time to devote to making a nursery until after our school semester. And at that point I am 38 weeks pregnant. Maybe the baby would be here at that point, I don't even know. So we went ahead and started. But I also just wanted to talk about what we have been thinking through and meditating on at 20 weeks. 20 weeks is the halfway point with pregnancy, and it has already felt like it has gone so quick. It comes to thinking about the baby growing older, and we can even see ourselves starting doing that now, even before the baby has gotten here. We are both young, and this is our first child, so there's a lot of new emotions and a lot of exciting things, but also a side of pregnancy that I don't think many people share about is kind of the sorrowful side of it. Scripture tells us childbirth is going to be a pain because of the fall, and I think that also includes being pregnant. If you've ever been pregnant, you totally understand the mix of being so excited and so joyful and so thankful for this child, but also feeling like this is not how I think it should be, just with all the aches and pains and trouble sleeping and sometimes nausea for people. And so we've been thinking about that and just thinking about how things are going to change when the baby comes, between my husband and I, and really trying to fight against temptations to put this baby before each other and our marriage and before God. I think the first child often brings struggles of, idolizing this child, being fearful, being anxious, and I definitely can see myself falling into those things. And so it's been a really good time of reflection and time of bonding for me and my husband as we look at the next 20 weeks and think this is the last time in our entire lives that we are not going to have another human dependent on us. And of course, after our kid grows up and leaves the house, it'll be different. But for the next 20 to 30 years, this child is going to be a part of our daily lives. So we've just been thinking through that. Something else I think pregnancy has really been moving in me, or what the Lord has been working in me through this pregnancy, is humility. I know there's a lot of pride when it comes to, were you expecting this baby? Was it unexpected? And no matter what, I've just been thinking through what a blessing it is to have kids young, to start a family young, and who am I to say that one way is better than the other when God is sovereign over when you have children. So I think there's been that aspect of humbling, which is good because mothers have to be so humble when it comes to mothering and parenting. That is something that is so valued in Scripture. And I think it's been very humbling too, just physically. I've always been someone who just is go, go, go. So whenever I am getting bigger, which I am getting a lot bigger now, I feel myself slowing down and getting tired faster, which is honestly really hard for me to slow down and to accept rest. And I think it's been a gift from the Lord that I've been able to begin learning how to rest more, and not only physically rest, but rest in Him more. And I'm still learning that for sure, but I'm thankful for these next 20 weeks because I know that God is going to work in me how He knows I need to be prepared for when this child comes. Because something about me is I do not do well when it comes to not getting enough sleep, and obviously we're not going to be getting much sleep when the baby comes, and so learning how to be self-controlled and loving and kind even when I'm low on sleep with my husband and family and friends, that is a challenge that I am really starting to pray through and be humbled by. Another thing about pregnancy that I think is just so wonderful is that in a lot of ways, the way the Bible talks about pregnancy is an expectant way. So this morning I read John 16, and in verse 22, I just wanted to read it to you guys, and hopefully you guys would be encouraged if you are a pregnant woman or if you're a mama and you just feel discouraged, like, why am I doing all these things? And it just feels so monotonous, or it's painful, or it's hard. Hopefully this will give you some encouragement. Verse 20, this is Jesus speaking. It says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, you will weep and lament, but the world will rejoice. You will be sorrowful, but your sorrow will be turned into joy." When a woman is giving birth, she has sorrow because her hour has come. But when she has delivered the baby, she no longer remembers the anguish for joy that a human being has been brought into the world. So also you have sorrow now, but I will see you again, and your hearts will rejoice, and no one will take your joy away from you. I think that is such a wonderful passage because it's admitting, pregnancy and childbirth is hard, but it's not supposed to leave us in that state of weeping and sorrow and anguish, but it's supposed to help us look forward expectantly to when Jesus Christ will come back. So though we weep and though we are sorrowful, we have hope we can look forward to. And if that is something you just need to be encouraged by, I pray that it would be encouraging to you today. I know it's been encouraging to me this morning and something I want to meditate on as I go along through this pregnancy. So tomorrow is the day that we get to learn the gender of our baby, over some future plans for the nursery and what we are thinking to do with it. I'm so excited to bring you guys along and to document this process. It's not going to be one of those instant, the nursery is going to be done in a week. It's going to be something that happens over time. So I will hopefully be able to document each step of the process and share with you guys soon of what the gender is of our baby.